Tonight, I'm buying in for $10,000 on the biggest live stream in poker, Hustler Casino Live. It's an action-packed session full of big pots, massive all-ins, and a make-or-break pot you won't want to miss at the end with pocket aces. This is my 5th time on Hustler Casino Live, and I've only won once, but I'm up $15,000, and I thought it'd be fun to bring my buddy Drew all the way from Texas.
Man, you gotta really love the Bills to have a Dalton Kincaid jersey. Drew B, clean me out.
In other news, this is a 10, 20, 40 game. I'm in for $10,000, which is the most on the table, and I put all of my chips to work right away in this first hand when I look down at pocket nueves from the hijack, and I make it $200 to go. We get 4 callers going 5 ways to a flop here, which gives me an overpair on a 7-6-4 rainbow board. When the action checks over to me, I decide to go for a $500 bet, and we're gonna get action from none other than Bruce Buffer. The UFC legend puts in the call. Off to the turn we go, which connects the board even further on the 8 of clubs. I decided to slow down and check in this spot, and Bruce now bets out for $1,000. Obviously, with my open-ended straight draw and overpair, I put in the call, and the river gives me essentially the nuts on the 5 of clubs. So I look over at his stack. He only has around $3,000. There's $4,200 in the middle. I'm thinking about what bet size to go for, and then I see him do a live tell.
Bruce has grabbed his chips, which is a bit of a live tell that I don't want my opponent to bet.
Yeah, he really doesn't want me to put any chips in the middle. Well, sorry, Bruce. All of them are going in, all 2,970 of them, and immediately he looks distraught. After a little bit of tanking, he thinks about his decision with the straight on the board. He got counterfeit there and folds his cards. What a great fold from Bruce Buffer. But $7,200 and the drink that's in front of me is my reward. In this next hand, the appraiser opens under the gun to 200. I put in the call. The recycler and JT all call as well. Off to a flop we go, which gives me top pair on an A6-4 rainbow board, and the appraiser bets into all 3 of us for $600. Alarm bells are already going off in my head. It's likely he has ace king, ace queen, ace jack. He also could have kings and queens, so I put in the call one time here, and the turn now comes the queen of clubs. When he continues to bet for $1,000, I don't love this spot. I kind of want to just fold right now, but I'm on Hustler Casino Live. Over 10,000 people are watching, and I'm gonna have to make a vlog out of this, so I decided to call once more to see if he shuts down on the river with kings. But when the river comes the ace of clubs.
Oh man, what a river. That is a beautiful river.
It's a crazy card because now I have 3 of a kind, but if he continues to bet, I'm just never good. So when he fires out for $2,800, I immediately say that I want to fold.
Ryan may never invite me back on the stream if I fold this hand.
He'll just never invite me back if I don't put in the call here with 3 of a kind. I could go for an insane fold, but I just don't want to be embarrassed on live television, and I decided to put in the call here with my 3 of a kind, and sure enough, he shows me ace king offsuit, so he's going to take down a nice massive pot here, almost $10,000. This next hand's a fun one. Rena opens up the low jack to $200, and I put in the call, bringing us off to a flop, which gives me middle pair. She goes for a bet, and of course, I put in the call, leading us off to the 5 of spades on the turn, giving me an open-ended straight draw. The action goes check, check. And the board pairs on the river, and now she goes for a massive bet. Overbets a $2,000 pot for $2,200, and when you're looking at this board, a lot of things miss. There's missed diamonds, missed straight draws. She could just have ace, king, king, queen. I just have second pair, but I think second pair is going to be good here a large portion of the time.
You gotta get back to the... You want me to call?
And for the logic of not wanting to fold against the appraiser because a ton of people are watching, I put in the call. I think you gotta call here when everything bricks off. I put my money where my mouth is, and sure enough, she shows king 4 of hearts. So we're taking down a nice $6,400 pot there with the old 6-7 offsuit. Bang! In this next hand, the recycler raises it up to $140 from the button, and 3 of us put in the call. I flop myself bottom pair on an 8-7 deuce board, and when he goes for a $330 bet, I gotta put in the call here. I could spike a deuce, I could spike an ace, but the turn is none of that. Instead, it's a 3 of spades. I check it over to him on this turn, and he goes for another bet, and I'm a sticky player on the Hustler. I'm going to put in the call here for $500, and the river now comes the 4 of diamonds. I check it over to him, hoping he slows down with king queen, ace king, something I have beat. I'd love to show the table and the stream that I won this with bottom pair, ace deuce offsuit, but instead we're put into a tough spot here in this $2,300 pot when he now bets out for $1,200. But I have bottom pair. I beat a lot of those hands. I also beat 9-10. And one thing about the recycler is he's a pretty action player. He's gonna give action. He's gonna go for bluffs. So I think this is a perfect hand to establish some table credibility, put in the call here, and hopefully I'm right and everyone thinks I'm a badass. Speaking of everyone, we got Dalton Kincaid watching back from Buffalo.
Wolfgang just doesn't believe. Look at this.
Apparently. Only on Mondays.
Well, if the recycler wanted to make...
What soccer team does he play for?
LA Surf.
LA Surf. Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, no, put the money in.
So when I put in the call here and the recycler says I'm good, he turns over the jack 10. We're gonna scoop this with bottom pair. And remember earlier when David Tuckman, the announcer here at Hustler Casino Live, threw a little bit of shade at Dalton? Well, I give him a shout out back in Buffalo. Him and Spencer Brown are watching, and of course I got an extra incentive to play crazy and show off for my boys back in Buffalo. Let's go.
Let's go, indeed.
That's my boy Dalton Kincaid watching from Buffalo right now.
Wait, is he actually watching?
Dalton, I'm gonna win with 7 deuce tonight for you. I got you.
Man, now I feel terrible. I gave Dalton some shade earlier on.
Anyways, wow.
Massive giveaway alert. As a bonus for anyone who's been playing online on Club WPT Gold and use code Wolfgang, I'm giving away $10,000 worth of tournament tickets to the PKO Festival happening right now. That's 73 55 Sweeps Coins tickets and 28 218 Sweeps Coins tickets for a total of 101 winners. Just comment below the video with your Club WPT Gold user ID to have a chance to win. Your account must be active and verified, and winners will be chosen a day after this video goes live. The tickets will be added straight into your account and are good through September 7th. Whatever you end up cashing for, you get to keep and withdraw straight to your bank. If you don't win, don't worry. You'll have another chance at my next vlog this week, so make sure you have your YouTube post notifications turned on so you can comment on the next video. And if you're not on gold yet, what are you waiting for? Sign up with code Wolfgang. It's legal in 46 out of the 50 states in the US, and there's no better time to join than right now. Link down below. It's Max Payne Monday, which means we're playing double board PLO bomb pots. Let's pick this one up on the river when I pull off the slow roll of a Sentry versus Bruce Buffer and Rena on my right. I have the nut flush on top, and I have 2 pair on the bottom. I beat Bruce, who had ace 7 with my ace king, and I let them show all of their cards, make them think that they're chopping up my money, only to let them know that I'm taking everything. Let's go.
Hey, how'd that happen? That's my bad, you guys. Sorry. Cocktails?
What do you say? Sorry.
I'm not done with Bruce just yet. I make it $240 to go here with pocket 8s, and he puts in the call with ace 10 offsuit. He bets the flop, and I put in the call. The turn comes a 7 of spades, check, check, and we fill up on the river with 8s full of 7s. I lay the trap and check it over to Bruce, thinking he might bet here with a lot of bluffs, but he checks behind, and I'm embarrassed to show that I have 8s full for just a $1,500 pot. All right, this next one's for 86. Drew B opens it up to 240, and JT puts in the call. With 7 deuce here, I normally am gonna fold it, but with Kincaid watching back in Buffalo, I decide to play this hand even though there's no incentive on the table to do so. I'm thinking about re-raising, but I think a call could be kind of tricky here and try to outplay Drew and JT post flop. So that's what I do. I just call, and the flop checks through on a 10-10-3 board. I think about going for a bet on the 5 of hearts turn, but I think a check raise could be nasty. So that's what I do. I check it over to JT, who fires out for $500. Now, what would Dalton do if I was playing in his home game in Buffalo? Well, he'd probably go for the check raise, and he'd probably go pretty big. So that's what I decided to do. I make it $1,550. I put a little bit of Wolfgang spice on it. Cinco de Mayo, baby. Hopefully both of them fold. Surprisingly, Drew folds the ace high flush draw. If he just rips it in here, I have to fold my cards, and he's gonna take down a nice $3,000 pot, but he folds, JT folds.
Hey, shout out to my boy Kincaid and Vandy watching from
Boom, look at that. I love it.
And of course, I got a windmill the 7 deuce. and give a shout out to 86. Let's go.
Not playing the 7 deuce.
They are not playing the 7 deuce game, but Wolfgang is playing it by himself, which I appreciate.
A quick standings update. I'm up nearly $4,200 in second place on the day, and I'm absolutely cruising. In this next hand, Crazy Drew opens it up to $300 from under the gun. Normally an under the gun raise is pretty strong, but that's not going to scare away 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of us put in the call. Off to a flop we go, which comes Ace King 5. My buddy Drew goes all in for $2,000, and it folds back around to me. I debate giving my buddy from Texas a little bit of light action here. My hand is just a little bit too terrible. There hasn't been a lot of 4-betting on Hustler Casino Live tonight, so when JT opens it up to 300, the appraiser 3-bets to 1,000. I find myself in a perfect spot to be the first one to do so with Ace Queen of clubs. I'm sitting at nearly $1,800 in my stack, and I decided to 4-bet it here to the tune of $2,700.
I'm not sure if gamblers should be giving each other advice on gambling.
We get rid of JT, back over to the appraiser with A7 off. I'd love for him to put in a call or even stick his entire stack in the middle. Instead, he folds his 2 cards, but I'm taking down $1,400 with the cold 4-bet. A $1,900 pot is being shipped my way after I flop top pair versus JT in the straddle and go for a $500 C-bet, to which he can't call with his 8s. This next hand goes 4 ways to the flop when we all decide to call the $100 straddle. The flop comes Queen 7-4 with 2 diamonds. I flop myself the open-ended straight draw and start with a check. The recycler bets out for $200, and I check raise it up to $600, and now my buddy Drew on my left puts in the call. The recycler does as well. The turn comes a 10 of diamonds, a little bit of a scare card. Anyone could have 2 diamonds in their hand. I have the 5 of diamonds, so I decide to check, and the action checks through, giving me the king high flush on the river in a $2,200 pot. I think it's way better to go for a check call than a bet and get raised and be in a tough spot, so that's exactly what I do. Checking also allows opponents to go for a bluff, and I didn't invite Drew onto this stream to not pick off a few of his bluffs, so when I check it over to him and we lose our 3-way, actions on me. I just think about it for a second because I know Drew is capable of having some better hands. After all, he's going to have some diamonds once in a while here, but I think I'm going to pay him off here for $800, and sure enough, this is one of those times. We actually had the exact same hand on the turn, but I had a free roll to the 5 of diamonds, and that means I'm winning $2,300 of profit in this hand alone. The days of being second on the cumulative winnings leaderboard have come and gone. I'm now sitting in first place, up nearly $8,000. And then a really fun spot happens when 5 players put in the call after Drew opens it up from the +1 to $140. I have a suited king, and I would be closing the action, so calling makes a lot of sense. Putting in a call here, getting my VPIP up and going 7 ways to the flop can't be terrible. Maybe I'll flop trips, 2 pair, or a flush. But you know what could be even more fun? Going for the squeeze here. When Drew opens it up from the +1 and nobody 3-bets him, does anyone even have aces, ace king, queens, maybe jack 10 suited? I mean, a lot of hands would find a raise, so I think if I raise here, it's gonna look super strong, and everyone just doesn't have a great hand to hold on with. I look over at his stack, determine exactly how much he has, and then I make it $2,300, kind of assuming that Drew is committed to the hand. Just like I predicted, he puts in the call. We're playing a $5,300 pot, and I have no idea what he has.
Your head. Oh God, I'm dead. I'm dead. Ship it over. Your head.
Oh, wait a second. Open-ended. Wolfgang could get there. This would be ugly. This would be gross. A 9 or an ace.
Our ace is good.
Oh my God.
What card is good? Hey, you raise.
You fucker, dude. You fucker. Oh my God. No. Oh my God. Wow. Oh my God. At the straight. Nice hand.
Wow, reverse slow rolled.
I love it.
That's good. That's magnifique. Wow.
I love it.
Drew and I play together all the time in Fort Worth, so I have to put the bang sticker on my buddy as he reaches into his pocket and pulls out a wad of cash.
That was professional level slow
The
rolling.
darker the berry, the sweeter the juice, brother.
Oh, wow. And he puts the bang on him.
This next hand might be my favorite one of the night. There's a raise to $200 from Raver, who now sits down across the table, and Crazy Drew puts in the call. Action's on me with Jack 10 offsuit, and I want to get my VPIP up here, so I decide to call the $200, which brings in Bruce Buffer. The flop comes pretty connected, King 9-8 with 2 clubs. I have the open-ended straight draw. Somehow the action checks over to me, and I'm not going to take the bait. Instead, I check behind, giving me a pair with the 10 of spades. Buffer bets out for $400. Raver just calls. Crazy Drew's out of the way, and the action's on me. Now I could think about going for a raise, but instead I just put in the call once again. I have the gut shot to the straight, and I could make trips with a 10 on the river, which is exactly what happens. The 10 of hearts peels off, bang! We now have a disguised 3 of a kind. The action's on Bruce. I'm sitting in a great position here. Closing the action, I'll get to see what Bruce and Raver both do before the action's on me, and most likely I'm gonna put in a raise. But when Bruce bets out for $1,000 and Raver doesn't snap call or snap fold, now it's getting a little bit fishy. Is he gonna go for a raise here? Absolutely. He makes it $3,500 to go on this 10 of hearts river. I immediately thought I was gonna win this pot, but now I'm not so sure. Bruce has been betting on the turn and the river, trying to let the table know that he has a good hand. Raver has been playing it pretty slow, just calling the turn and now raising the river when it pairs. Could Raver be raising the river as a bluff with missed clubs? Absolutely. That would be a really great play from him, and he plays enough on the stream that he's definitely capable of doing it. But more often than not, I think Raver or Bruce are gonna have a full house, having my Jack 10 offsuit beat here, so I make a pretty tight fold.
What a fold from Wolfgang.
Folding my 3 of a kind. Hopefully I don't get embarrassed with over 10,000 of you guys watching, but when I fold, Bruce jams it all in and Raver snap calls, so immediately I think that I made a great fold, and sure enough I did. What a crazy flop, set over set. Raver's gonna take this down with kings full of 10s over 9s full of 10s.
Do you have a 10? Or
10 Jack, too.
What a crazy spot there, and I'm really glad that I saved a ton of money on that river card. Let me know down in the comments what you guys would have done in this exact spot. And that brings us into the last hand of the night, where I pick up this sharp tops finally with $21,000 in my stack, and I'm looking to do some damage with an immediate 3-bet to $500. The recycler, Raver, and JT all put in the call. The flop is ballooned up to $2,200, and I flop myself an overpair on a queen 7-6 with 2 spades board. I decide to get tricky and go for the check raise, and the recycler takes the bait here and bets out for $500, which brings in Raver, who is playing with house money at this point. I check raise them both up to $2,200, and only the recycler puts in the call. Off the turn we go, which comes the 8 of clubs. There's $7,100 in the middle, and the recycler only has $2,160 in his stack. So after a little bit of posturing and Hollywooding, I decided to jam my entire stack in the middle. It's only $2,160. I'm hoping that the recycler is going to play exactly how my hat says, tilted, and put in the call. Sure enough, he does. He puts in the call. The pot is ballooned up to 11.5K, and the river comes the deuce of hearts. We see that we have queen jack of clubs beat. There was a lot of cards that could have improved him. None of them came. Now he's definitely tilted. Go get your tilted hats. Link is down below at shopwolfgang.com. That's gonna do it for the recycler. I shake his hand and say sorry. That was a running joke the entire night, that everyone that beat someone said sorry, which is just terrible etiquette to do. This was an amazing time. Shout out to Drew for coming out all the way from Texas to punt his stack to me a few times, but that's just the way the cookie crumbles. I ended up winning 13.6K on the stream and another 4K off the stream for around a $17,000 profit in just 1 day's of work. Shout out to Ryan Feldman and even David Tuckman for rescinding his negative comments about Kincaid. I love everyone at Hustler Casino Live, and I love all of you guys as well. I especially love everyone who's hit that subscribe button. There's 2 more videos on your screen right now. Click one of those to keep on watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. As always, peace!